Welcome to Meet Charles Show. This is your favorite show on YouTube and across all social media networks. Today, I take you to Germany to speak to one gentleman in Germany, in Berlin, to be precise. I think he's the right person to talk to when it comes to studying in Germany. He's a foreign student and he has a lot to tell us. This is your show, Meet Charles Show. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, before any other thing, viewers would like to know you. So you just tell my viewers something little about yourself.
Oh, okay, thank you. My name is Patrick Owusu Agyemang. You can call me Patrick for short. And Patrick is a very simple person, and I'm also a hardworking student as well. And growing up, I had my basic education in Peter's Educational Center in Ghana, Kumasi to be precise. From there, I went to also study at the senior high school level at the Kumasi Anglican Senior High School, where I studied agricultural sciences. And from there, I proceeded to the University for Development Studies in Tamale, where I also studied my bachelor degree in Natural Resources Management. And after the University for Development Studies, I also went to South Korea, where I had my first master's degree program. And I studied leadership and religious studies. And I came to Germany again also for the second master's program. And currently in Germany, I am studying environmental sciences at the University for Sustainable Development here in Berlin, Germany.
So you are the right person to talk to because you have some experiences to share with us, from Peter's Educational Center in Kumasi to Kumasi Anglican to University for Development Studies, then to South Korea, then back you came to Germany for your second master's. You are right, and you have some experiences to share with my audience on this platform. So one may ask, why Germany? And what makes you like studying in Germany?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Germany, on any day, I will recommend for someone when it comes to quality education in terms of higher education level. Though we have countries like the United Kingdom, the United States, the Canada, Australia, and other countries. But you can also take Germany, also one of the best places to study when it comes to higher education level, because Germany environment is conducive for sustainable development studies, like as I'm reading right now. It's also good for other major courses like engineering courses, the ICT. In fact, all forms of courses. When it comes to Germany, there are so many kind of sponsorships and alternatives options that support students when it comes to quality of education. So being in Germany as a student, it's not only the university degree that you acquire, you also gain access to international networks and other fundings of sponsorship opportunities. In fact, there are so many prospects in Germany when you study here.
Yeah, so is it true that tuition is actually free in Germany?
Yes, tuition is true here in Germany. I did not mention that one because depending on the state that you will be studying. I remember when one friend told me when you go to the Baden-Württemberg around the Stuttgart area, most of the universities there also charge fees. But most of the federal states in Germany, for instance, where I am now in Brandenburg, Berlin, when you study at the higher education, it is tuition free. So in general, we will not say it is all the universities, but I can tell you that about 70 to 80% of the universities are free. Yeah, you only pay only the semester contributions at every semester, which is less than 500 euros. So
yeah. So once you have mentioned money, let me ask about the cost of living in Germany. As a student.
Cost of living. Yes, cost of living in Germany is individual differences because depending on how you live your lifestyle, because you are in the society where somebody can use 100 euros within 1 month, somebody can use 100 euros within 1 week, somebody can even use it within a day. So generally, in terms of the cost of living in Germany, one will say it is high, one will say it is medium, one will say it is low. Yeah. To my perspective, when I link it to my situation, I would say cost of living in Germany for me is too moderate because the little that you get when you do part-time work as international student, you can afford your accommodation fees, you can pay other bills, including the health insurance they operate in Germany system here. you can still have something in your bank account. And I think for me, cost of living in Germany is very moderate.
Yeah, you mentioned working. You mean students are allowed to work in Germany? You have any information about that?
Yes, international students are allowed to work in Germany. If you have the status as a master or a PhD student in Germany, you can work because you'll be given a work permit. But what I know much is about those who are international students here as master students. That one, you can work for 20 hours a week. So within the week, you are entitled to work 20 hours. And within the 20 hours, like I told you earlier on, what you will get, at least you can be used to support your cost of living here in terms of accommodation and other bills. And you can even save some in your bank account. So
Yeah,
we do work here as international students, 20 hours a week.
So viewers should note that students are allowed to work.
Yes, you'll be given work permits.
Yeah.
Actually, what happened is that when you enter here in Germany, when you are given the visa and you enter here, you first go to the international office.
Yeah.
And when you go there, they will give you the residence permit. And in addition to the residence permit, they add the work permit document that you can be used to search for jobs.
Oh, okay. So I understand you now. So but before this question, do you have any comparison to make when it comes to South Korea and Germany?
Yes. There are clear differences between the two countries. In South Korea, what happened was that if you were a master's student, you will not be given the work permit. And in some cases, when the immigration found out that you are working whilst you were a student, then you'll be in trouble because they don't actually want you, the students, to be working. So in that place, there's no way you'll be given a work permit as a student. But in the case of Germany, it's totally different because the Germans want you to study whilst you are also working, because of the bills here. And for me, I think the difference is that in South Korea, you are not paying a lot of bills compared to Germany. Like here, aside the accommodation, you are paying insurance, you are paying radio and television fees and other bills. But in South Korea, apart from your accommodation, you are not paying any other fees. And for me, the only difference is that maybe it's because of the bills that students do actually pay within the country. That is why they restrict students from working. But that is not a good practice in South Korea, I would say, because you are also paying school fees. In Germany, even though it's free tuition, but you are still working. In South Korea, you are paying fees, but you will not be allowed to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the difference between the two countries.
So Germany remains the best option for international students.
For sure. That is why I personally came here to study, because in South Korea, I was studying, I was paying fees, but I was not allowed to work. So you can imagine the difficulties students are passing through when they study in South Korea.
Yeah. So you are currently in Germany, and as a foreign student, how do the other international students see you, or how do Germans see you as an African student studying in Germany?
Yeah, I think in Germany, when you are an African student and you are studying here, they are sometimes surprised to see an African person studying up to this level, because they already have some mindset that most of the African people travel not purposely for studies, but for other reasons.
Yeah.
And when you're a student and they see you, they try to have some different thought that, so not all the Africans travel here for other things, but some also come here for studies. So when they see that you are a student and you come from Africa, they see you to be a very important person who has some kind of vision you want to achieve in your future career, because a lot of African people come here and not purposely for studies. So they see you as a unique person, honestly, I must say that. And some of them get closer to you because they find it very interesting, like African person, and you are studying up to this higher education level.
Yeah, so that makes you have no difficulties as an international student studying in Germany, if I'm right.
And not necessary, but of course there are some difficulties you also face when you get closer to some of the Germans. You know, not all of them will have the thought, like I said earlier on, that somebody is studying from Africa and a person is studying at a higher level, so you will be unique to that person. No, some people also see you as you are sending, but they still feel that the studies or the education level you are achieving is just for for coming here to just enjoy the life here, not purposely for the degree that you are achieving. So they still have the mindset that though you are in school, but your focus is not the school, is for different things. And it also happens in some places because some people come here whilst they are looking for other opportunities, not necessarily embarking on the education.
Okay.
So when they come to that, then definitely there will be some kind of challenges between you and then the Germans. But in general, I think it's few people who will do that. Most of them, they are friendly when you are international student here in Germany.
Thank you for this experience and this information.
Yeah.
Viewers should forgive me. I have some issues with my lighting, but it's okay. You can still hear our voices as we speak. And Mr. Patrick is the one on the show today. He is in Berlin, and he's giving us some information. I mean, giving you all you need about studying in Germany, why Germany, the cost of living in Germany, and what you need to know before you even go to Germany to study. So Germany, I think they speak Deutsch. I mean,
Yes.
I've been to Germany, and Deutsch is everything.
Yes.
As a foreign student, as an international student, don't you encounter challenges, or did you have to learn the Deutsch before? Did you have to learn the Deutsch before traveling, or what?
Yeah, I think this has been a major concern, and is one reason why most people prefer going to UK, US, Canada, and English countries, because they always have in mind that because of the German language, when you come to study here, you are going to find a lot of challenges when it comes to communication. But the case is not like that. Depending on the area you find yourself, most of the federal states, most of the citizens do speak good English, and they are willing to also speak English with you when they see you as an international student where you cannot speak the German language. But in some cases also, if you are not lucky, you'll be in a situation where you have to learn the language. Other than that, it will be difficult for you in terms of communication. So in all, I will say that most of them speak English. So it's not necessarily learning the language before coming here, because my program is not a German language program. It's an English program. So I don't need to study the language before coming here. I only need to study the basics in the language for my personal living here, because aside the school, you are going to different parts of the country. And like I said earlier on, you'll be meeting a lot of people, those who cannot speak the English. And you yourself, you have to try to learn the language so that it will be yourself motivation tools where you can use to defend yourself when you meet someone who cannot speak the English language. But it's not entirely true that you have to learn the language before coming here. No, it's not like that.
About jobs, do you need to learn the language before getting a job? One has to learn Deutsch, kill himself or herself to learn the Deutsch before getting a job? Or how is a job acquisition like? I mean, how can one acquire a job without Deutsch or with Deutsch?
Yeah, there are so many jobs in Germany for international students. And depending on the kind of job, some of the jobs you don't need to learn the language before you get. Where I am working now, we don't use the German language. We only communicate in English. So depending on the jobs, but I can say that a lot of jobs are there. They don't actually need someone who can speak the language before they ask you to join them, or they give you offer to come and work with them. So you have to know the language. Is good for your personal rounds, like I said earlier on. But in terms of job, without the language, you can still find job, and then you can go there with the English language as well.
Before I proceed to my last question, let me chip this in. And I mean, you've seen about 3 or 4 curricula. In Ghana, you were at UDS. South Korea, you studied masters, another university which is renowned. And now you're in Germany. There are 3 curricula. Which one is so intense? Which one demands you to work more? Or has any of has your previous curriculum helped you?
Yeah, I think when you compare the 3 countries, like the one in Ghana, South Korea, and the one in Germany, even though Ghana was my home country, or Ghana is my home country, and I find it very difficult in learning in Ghana because most of the informations are not easy. If you want to get information to support your studies, most of them are not easy to come by. And the reason is very simple. We lack a lot of facilities when it comes to research activities. But in South Korea and Germany, the story is not the same like the one in Ghana, because they are in developed world, and a lot of facilities are available for students to embark on research activities. So it means that in Ghana, you have to put a lot of effort before you can achieve your success. For instance, during your master thesis in Ghana, you want to search for papers. It's not easy to come by because of internet and other challenges you find yourself in so far as facilities are concerned. And in South Korea and in Germany, like I said, they are not the same. But the only difference is that in South Korea, most of the information you get are not in English language. So that one is also a challenge in South Korea. Most of the informations are also in the Korean language because they also speak Korean language. They are not English country. In the case of Germany, though Germany is not an English country, but because they are one of the countries a lot of people visit for higher education, they have availability of information also in other languages, and English is part of them. So in Germany, searching for information becomes very easier when you compare to South Korea and Ghana. Ghana, you have to put a lot of effort. Sometimes you move from one library to other and you not get the information. But Germany, you can sit in your room and you just go to the internet. The university provide a lot of links, a lot of websites, and you have access to so many sources of information. South Korea too is the same thing, just that the language is a little bit challenged over there because the language is not in English. But Germany, I would say among the three countries, Germany is the best. And Ghana is where you put a lot of effort when it comes to information research.
Yeah, I understand students of UDS or from UDS are multitasked. Has that helped you? I mean, what you went through in UDS, your trimester program, and the research that students of UDS have to do. I mean, doing about 80 courses before you finish your bachelor's. Has that had any impact on you as a student in Germany?
It has helped me a lot because through the hardship conditions I passed through during my 4 years studying in UDS, when I came here and I came here to meet the easy way to get information and other things, then I found myself in a situation where I think I'm not putting much effort anymore compared to Ghana. Because it's like life. When you pass through the hardship conditions and at the end you are enjoying, definitely your ending part will be very easier for you to say, because the kind of stress and the kind of hardships and difficult conditions, even in Ghana, as you just mentioned, UDS, the weather condition during the second semester is not easy to stay because the temperatures are very high and all over the place is hot, and that alone is even a stress student pass through while studying. But if you come to Germany, for instance, the system is not the same. So it has helped me a lot. And that also has motivated me whenever I face any challenges here. The challenges cannot be compared to that of UDS challenges. So I see here to be very simple when it comes to difficult situations compared to the one in Ghana.
Any plans for the future as a student? Do you have any future plans as a student?
Sure.
And just as you were answering that, just wrap up, give your last submission, and let's end the show on Meet Child Show.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, as a student, definitely I have a plan. That is why I'm studying. In my future, I want to transform all what the knowledge I'm getting. I want to transform back home to also help our country, because we need to go back to help them. And so in doing that, I try to establish an NGO that will embark on conservation and sustainable livelihood activities, so that through the organization, we can also support those who are also in need, particularly when it comes to the issue of sustainable livelihoods, because a lot of people back home need support before they can move on. So in moving forward, my dream is to establish an NGO that will embark on conservation and sustainable livelihood activities. And in wrapping up the show, I would like to thank you very much for inviting me. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And I also encourage our viewers to also watch our program on YouTube and other social media platforms.
Yeah,
I think Micha's program has been one of the best academic programs that is also found across all the social media platforms. And if you are interested in academic information and other information concerning social life or whatever you want to know in life, I think you should subscribe to the links and you should also follow the show. And at the end of the day, it's going to help you as well.
Thanks for the compliment. Viewers of Meet Child Show are really grateful for your last submission. So, Mr. Patrick, thank you so much for coming on Meet Child Show. We will have episode 2 where we look at how students can apply for master program in Germany, how students can use Uni Assist in the application for a master program in Germany, and maybe have another episode where we actually look at the course that you are studying and its impact it could have on the society. Thank you for coming on Meet Child Show.
You are most welcome. My doors are always open. Thank you very much.